Okay, in this video I'm going to explain the process of isometric drawing and crating. So, isometric drawing uses 30-degree angles. So we can use a set square to do that accurately. However, we can guesstimate. So my angle that I'm putting these lines is approximately 30 degrees, okay? But as long as these are pretty much the same angle, then we can get away with it being sort of guesswork. So I'm going to draw an isometric box. I've got a vertical here that is parallel with the edge of my page. And parallel lines are really, really key to isometric drawing. Okay, so making sure all these verticals are parallel with each other. Now, these 30-degree angled lines must be parallel with one another as well. So I actually use my ruler as a guide. Okay, now from this one here. Now, if you do have a set square, you can use that as well, if you know how. So, again, I need a parallel line coming off here. And I'm drawing lightly, I'm considering, the fact that I might have some construction lines that I'll rub out later. Okay, so that's an isometric drawing. This is what we call the crate for crating. So within this box here, I can draw a design of some sort. Now, the actual dimensions of your crate kind of determine the dimensions of your chair. So really, because this is pretty much a cube, it doesn't lend itself well to a chair. Probably should have made it slightly narrower and taller for a chair. But let's see what we can do, and you should be able to understand the principles. So at this point, I'm going to stop using my ruler. You can continue to use a ruler, that is absolutely fine. But I'm going to start sketching. Okay, so I've got my sketch here and I've done it within my crate. So this is quite a squarish sort of design, which lends itself quite well. Do think about producing quite simple solutions to this flat pattern project. So in this case I'm doing a chair, but you do have the options for other things. But simplicity is really important. We're not looking for really complex designs at this point. You'll notice from my example page that these are all quite simple designs, made of very few pieces. In the one that I've just done, I've got this back piece here, I've got the actual seat part, I've got this vertical structure here, and that bit there. So it's only made up of 4 parts. That's what's key to this project, is keep it simple. So what do I do if I want to make something a little bit more complex and rounded? So let's draw another crate. Okay, so I've drawn my crate, and this time it's different proportions, so it's much taller, not as wide this time. So I'm going to draw a much more sort of rounded design this time, very similar to what's on my example. Okay, so I've done sort of the side of it here. Slight difference compared to my example is that this is going to be a separate piece that slots onto the bottom rather than this curving round in one piece. So now what I need to do is do the same curve but starting over here. So I've drawn the thickness of this here, and from there I'm going to redraw this as closely as I can. Sometimes what's useful is putting sort of guidelines, so I know when I get to around here it needs to start curving back in. Okay, so there we go. I can work on that a little bit more, get it perfect. Kind of get the idea, and we can use some shading eventually so we can bring out those contours a little bit better. And obviously we get rid of the crate as well, so we're just left with what we had. Maybe I want to put some struts across here. Let's do that to add another dimension to this. So now what I would do from this point is I would start rubbing out some of the lines. All these sketchier lines I'd probably rub out so I can just see them still, and then I would do a nice clean final line where I want that to be. I tend to go over them now and just define them a little bit better.